Hey guys, Oro here, and today I'm going to show you the best relics for every character in Elden Ring Nightreign. Now before we dive in, just know that all of these relics you see are guaranteed. That means that you can get all of them from the jar shop from defeating Night Lords or from the character remembrances. So first off, let's start with Wylder. For Wylder, you're going to want to use the Wylder's Chalice, and the first relic is the Wylder's Earring. Plus one additional character skill use gives us another grapple charge, which allows us to traverse the map at ludicrous speeds. Art activation spreads fire in area. This is an absolute game changer for Wylder for multiple reasons. First reason being, most of the time you use a Wylder ult, they're going to be stunned. Your enemy is going to be staggered in place, and they're going to eat that entire fire dot on the ground, and it does so much damage. Second reason is that this works on not only his fully charged, but his uncharged ultimate. This makes it just disgustingly efficient and actually enables you to use the uncharged ult to really powerful effect. Stamina recovers with each successful attack is one of the best modifiers in the game. What this does is basically when you attack enemies, when you actually land a hit on them, it'll give you some stamina back. You can think of it as reduced stamina cost, which obviously is extremely powerful. Next up, we use the Delicate Luminous Scene. Now this might seem pathetic, but I promise you it's not. Improved critical hits is one of the best modifiers in the game. This is 15% more damage on a crit. And Wylder crits a lot because you're bunking a lot and you're staggering a lot and you're getting those riposts and those backstabs. This is just insanely powerful. This is like almost a free dagger talisman at start. It's really good. And lastly, we have the Bloodborne Relic, Grand Tranquil Scene. Partial HP restoration upon post-damage attacks is the most broken modifier in this entire game. What this does is whenever you get hit, you're able to actually attack the enemy back and get your health back within a 5-second window. It is incredibly broken, super powerful, and depending on the damage you do, you can get literally all of your health back. It saves you tons of flasks and allows you to basically ignore the enemy attacks. It's really dumb. Plus, this one comes with +2 vigor and +2 poise. And again, it's guaranteed after you defeat the final boss from the jar shop. So this is the main build I recommend to use with Wylder. However, I made an alternate build that you might want to check out. This one uses the Wylder's Urn. And of course, we're using the Wylder's Earring again. You guys know how good this is. It's just best in slot. Can't live without it. For the second slot, we use the Slate Whetstone, which actually gives us a unique follow-up attack with the Greatsword only, which limits this build a lot, which is why I don't initially recommend this. However, it is super fun. The skill not only buffs your Greatsword with fire damage, but it has insanely good tracking. Plus, with double grapples, you're able to use it twice as often. So this is just a really fun combo. But again, you're limited to Greatsword, so it sort of sucks. Physical attack up, also not too shabby. Lastly, we use Knight of the Baron, which has improved critical hits +1, which is actually unique to this relic. Gives us 20% critical damage instead of the normal 15%. Art gauge fills moderately upon critical hit is absolutely insane for Wylder because we're already using our uncharged bunk now thanks to the fire and trying to keep it efficient. So with an uncharged bunk and a crit, it's getting our ult up at an insane uptime. And critical hit boosts stamina recovery speed. After a crit, you get an insane amount of stamina recovery. You're able to swing, you're able to do jump attacks, charged R2s, really whatever you want. It's incredibly potent. Again, I really like this build for great swords, and it is super fun. However, you're not getting that Bloodborne Relic, which really hurts, especially if you like trading with enemies. So I don't recommend this for everyone, but it's definitely worth a shot. It's very fun. Now we're going to go over to the Guardian. For the Guardian, we're going to use the Guardian's Chalice. And for the first relic, we're going to use the Witch's Brooch, which is arguably his best in slot relic. Slowly restores nearby allies' HP while art is active. What this does is when you're in your ultimate, you can actually hold it and heal nearby allies and yourself. This is good for everyone. It's incredibly potent. Reflect a portion of damage received when ability is activated. What this means is that when you're in your block stance, which can be activated by blocking and dodging at the same time, whenever you get attacked, it reflects a portion of damage back at the attacker. It's like a little tiny bit of like AoE off of your shield. It does a small amount of damage and a small amount of stagger damage. However, against enemies who attack incredibly quickly, They absolutely melt themselves, and it is hysterical to watch. Also, this really adds up over time. Even on big, slow attacking enemies, it is incredibly powerful. And the cherry on top is Vigor +3 on the already tankiest character in the game. Next up, we got the Delicate Luminous Scene, which again gives us 15% crit damage. Not too shabby. We're in the front lines. We're constantly guard breaking. We're constantly riposting. You're going to be right there. You're going to want the critical hit damage. And lastly, we use the Stone Stake, which makes Guardian's ability actually pretty good. What this does is it stun locks lesser enemies inside of it for about 5 seconds, which makes it just super safe for you and your team to just take out lesser camps with ease. It makes stuff like the Knights, the Dudes, pretty much any enemy that can get just stunned with like hits, it trivializes them. It makes them absolutely a joke. And even on bigger enemies, it does a lot more damage than just you'd have without it. It's extremely potent. Plus, character skill cooldown reduction allows you to use it even more. So this is really nice for Guardian. It's hard to run without it. However, I'm gonna go over an alternative build for Guardian. This build uses the Guardian's Goblet and takes advantage of his unique charged guard counters with halberds. The first relic for this build is again the Witch's Brooch. It's best in slot, no big surprise there. Then we have Knight of the Baron. Again, you've seen this in the Wylder one. Improved crit is insane, and we're going to be critting a lot because we're going to be staggering a lot because guard counters do a lot of stagger damage. Again, you're going to be in the front lines. You're going to be ready to take the critical hit. It's going to do tons of damage. It's going to give you gauge back so you're able to use your ultimate more often, res your teammates, heal yourself, whatever. Tons and tons of damage, and critical hit boosts stamina recovery speed. We're going to need lots of stamina. And speaking of stamina, Knight of the Champion is our final slot with increased maximum stamina for even more blocking and guard counters. Fun. But the really bread and butter of this entire build here is guard counter is given a boost based on current HP. So what this means is that the higher your HP is in terms of percent, the more damage you're going to do. So you want to be high, you want to be full HP, ideally when you're guard countering. Obviously, this might not happen all the time. You're probably going to take some hit, but the higher health you are, the more damage you're going to do with guard counter. And this boost is absolutely insane, especially on Guardian. And on Guardian, and especially on his unique, again, halberd charged guard counters, it does so much damage. This is insanely fun and my favorite way to play Guardian. I really recommend at least trying this build because it is a different play style. You are basically just spamming guard counters with halberds. You can't really use any other weapon because the other weapons sort of suck in comparison. But oh my god, this is addicting and it's super fun. And icing on the cake again is HP restoration upon thrust and counterattack, which you're doing pretty much every time you guard counter with this build. So you're getting a little bit of HP back. This is a really fun build. I really enjoy this. This changed the way I played Guardian. It is not, again, very team oriented. This is more of like, sort of like you're doing your own thing on Burb and just going ham. But if you want to achieve maximum damage on Burb, this is the way to do it. Now on to Ironeye. For Ironeye, we're going to be using Ironeye's Chalice. And the first relic is Knight of the Fathom. This relic is unique in that increased maximum HP is the highest you can possibly get in the entire game. It is better than +3 vigor because it's actually +5 vigor, something you can only get on this relic. It also comes with Flask Heal Allies, which is incredibly good for healing your teammates, and items confer effect to all nearby allies, so you can actually be the dedicated item guy. Everybody can give you their crabs, their meat. You can eat them up and give it to everybody, including yourself. Really powerful effects there, but mainly used for the maximum HP because Ironeye's main weakness is his health pool. It's very low. This makes up for it. Knight of the Beast, one of the best relics in the game. Stamina recovers with each successful attack. We talked about this before, but this is +1. This actually gives you more than, you know, normal stamina recovers that you can get on just RNG rolls. This +1 again is unique to Knight of the Beast. This is going to give you even more stamina back on attack, and it works with bows. And because the bow attack is so quick and really low stamina cost, This basically allows you to keep on firing like very, very often and still have tons and tons of stamina left over to dodge attacks. Plus, starting armament deals fire damage, which is really good as well. Lastly, we use the Edge of Order. Boost thrust and counter attacks after executing art. What this does is after you use your ultimate, you'll actually be able to do a little bit more damage when you shoot an enemy exactly when they're attacking, which normally you do a little bit of extra damage on counter hit, but this gives you even more damage on counter hit. It's pretty nice, but it's hard to really take advantage of, admittedly. The main reason to use this relic is for the improved bow attack power, which increases our bow damage. Obviously, Ironeye basically only uses bows, so this is very, very strong on him. Unfortunately, because of our starting fire damage, it overwrites the holy damage, so we're not able to get that, but it's not a big deal. We're still only using this for the bow attack power, which is extremely good. Now, onto the Duchess. For the Duchess, we're going to use the Spirit Shelter Grail. And the first relic is the Grand Tranquil Scene. Improved character skill attack power. What this does is make your restage do even more damage. So it makes it even more efficient on those big bursts. It'll do even a higher percent of damage. It also comes with 2 dex and 2 int, which is great for Duchess. Next, we use Knight of the Beast, which again gives us stamina with each successful attack. Very good for constantly attacking, keeping up that damage. And starting armament deals fire damage. And lastly, we use the Bloodborne relic, the Grand Tranquil Scene. Again, this is just super, super strong on almost any melee character. Now let's go over an alternate build for Duchess. This one uses the Duchess's Goblet. This build is focused on daggers and buffing her starting weapon. The first relic we use is Knight of the Miasma. And what this does is whenever you frostbite anyone around you, you actually go invisible for a few seconds. Changes compatible armament skill to Chilling Mist at start of expedition. What this does is allow you to frostbite enemies extremely quickly and put a frostbite buff on your dagger. Frostbite is probably second best next to bleed for Duchess, because every time you proc a frostbite, you can automatically rewind it and do tons and tons of damage off of that burst. Plus attack power up when facing a frostbite afflicted enemy. You're going to do even more damage to an already debuffed enemy. This is really, really strong on Duchess. Next, we have the Golden Dew, which improves again our character's skill attack power. It buffs a restage to be a little bit stronger, and it also boosts the power of added affinity attacks, which is our extra elemental damage on top of our weapons. And lastly, we use the Crown Medal, which gives dagger chain attack reprises event upon nearby enemies. What this means is that when you're done with your R1 attack chain, when you get the very last hit of either the two-handed or the one-handed dagger chain, it automatically uses restage, which is incredibly powerful. Plus, improved dagger attack power, which makes your daggers even stronger. So this is very much a dagger focused build. I would recommend if you get like a Reduvia to maybe switch to it, but you could probably upgrade your starting weapon, go into the mines, grab the purple stone, and use that for the entire game, and you'd be just fine. Very, very powerful build. Next up, we have the Raider, and for Raider, we use the Raider's Urn. The first relic is Knight of the Fathom, which, you guessed it, increased max HP on an already super tanky character. This is fantastic for Raider because we love HP, we love just tanking stuff, we love ignoring mechanics. Perfect for him. Flask also heal allies really good on Raider because he doesn't heal that often, and when he does, he's actually able to heal for his team. Plus, items confer effect. Really, really helpful. It can buff all your friends. Knight of the Beast. Stamina recovers with each successful attack +1. This is especially good on Raider, and especially when he's dual wielding. When you do like dual jump attacks, this procs on both of them, so it's boom boom, and you get a huge burst of stamina back. It allows you to do just a little bit more jumping attack spam with the L1s, which is just insanely powerful. Lastly, we have the Bloodborne relic. What a shock. Grand Tranquil Scene. This is really, really, really good on Raider because whenever he gets hit, he can just jump L1, R2, and just get all his health back in one hit. He's basically almost invincible if you play right, which makes this incredibly stupid. Plus, you can pump out a ludicrous amount of damage and stagger by just simply attacking and ignoring everything. It also gives him +2 vigor and +2 poise, everything Raider wants and needs. So this is a fantastic relic for Raider. Now, if you want to do even more damage as Raider, I got the perfect build for you. For this one, we use the Giant's Cradle Grail. For the first relic, we use the Torn Braided Cord. Damage taken while using character skill improves attack power and stamina. This gives us a huge boost to our damage and stamina when we get damaged in our punch, which is incredibly easy because our punch gives us tons and tons of damage reduction, and it's pretty free. So that's really, really strong. +3 strength, really good for us. We love strength. Now this might come as a surprise to you because this is a Revenant relic. However, it's really good on Raider, and especially for what we're doing. Taking attacks improves attack power. We're already taking damage from using this. This procs at the exact same time, giving us a double boost to our attack damage. This stacks and gives us an absolutely insane damage boost to all of our damage. Faith does nothing for us, but we're not using it for the Faith. And lastly, Knight of the Baron. Because we're doing so much damage, we're going to be doing even more damage on our crits. So when we finally get that stagger, it is going to hurt a lot. This also boosts all our crit damage. It gives us more art gauge, so we're able to totem up some more after we get the crits. And it boosts our stamina recovery speed. As you know, Raider really loves stamina. So this is an absolutely insane, super fun damage build that I highly recommend you try out. It's not as tanky or reliable as the other build, but man, it is fun. Now let's move on to Revenant. For Revenant, we're going to use the Revenant's Urn. The first relic we're going to use is the Small Makeup Brush. Power up while fighting alongside family. What this does is, depending on the summon that you have out, you get a different boost. Sebastian gives you elemental resist. Frederick gives you extra damage. It's incredibly powerful. You should always use this. Plus, increased rune acquisition for self and allies. This is a decent boost at about 3.5% to everyone. Next, we use the Grand Drizzly Scene. Trigger Ghost Flame Explosion during ultimate art activation. This is really good to use on Revenant. It gives her ult a little bit of extra oomph that I feel like it desperately needs. I honestly can't imagine running Revenant without this. It's so strong. +2 Faith, +2 Arcane. Really nice stats for her. This is a really solid relic. And Knight of the Wise. So this might be a weird choice, but I promise there's some reasoning to it. Increased maximum FP is the main reason for using this. It gives us about 25 extra FP, which doesn't seem like a lot, but in terms of the efficient spells, it actually adds quite a bit of extra cast, which is Revenant's main issue, is getting her FP. This semi fixes it. It's not perfect, but it's a really nice start. Of course, increased maximum FP is actually +5 mind, which you can't get on anything else. It's unique to Knight of the Wise, so it's really good. Starting armament inflicts poison, so your claws are gonna, or your fist, I should say, will inflict poison. And Poison and Rot increases attack power. So if you really want, you can go up and inflict poison, get a little damage boost with this. But you know what? I really don't recommend that. It's a little dangerous. Still, I think this is her best build. However, if you're feeling a little YOLO, I got something else for you. Giant's Cradle Grail. This build, yeah, it's YOLO. So, Small Makeup Brush, we've been over this. It's very good. However, a lot of people like Old Portrait, but it is risky. This build leans into that riskiness. So, expend own HP to fully heal nearby allies. I don't love this on Revenant. However, it is good. It is good. You spend half of your HP to fully heal everyone around you, including your summons. So it can be very potent. It also triggers Ghost Flame Explosion, which I talked about earlier. And the cherry on top, defeating enemies fills more of the art gauge. Obviously, more ult equals more damage equals more heals, which is really good for her. The only thing I don't like is that, yeah, you're going to have to heal up eventually because you're going to go down. But the whole point of this is committing to that 15-second invulnerability. You just completely take advantage of it. And that is why you also run Besmirched Frame with this. You go in, you take damage, and you absolutely just trade with the boss, with whoever's in your way. Plus the +3 faith will give you a little bit extra damage. This is a very, very interesting build. I don't know if I'd even recommend this at all, but a lot of people really like this setup. So you know what? Fuck it. YOLO. Hit the boss for 15 seconds. Just please heal up after. Moving on to the Recluse. For the Recluse, we use the Spirit Shelter Grail. And for the first relic, we use the Bone-like Stone. Suffer blood loss and increase attack power upon art activation. So this is insane for multiple reasons. Obviously, suffering blood loss is bad, but it's actually good. Number one, because this comes with an attack buff. But number two, because you can buff yourself with blood loss in so many different ways. Number one is with Lord of Blood Exaltation, the talisman. But number two is with a boon you probably see quite often, which is 20% more damage when blood loss is in the vicinity. This counts as that, which means you can activate that boon on a dime with your ult, which is insanely powerful. That means 20% damage whenever you want, plus the bonus increased on this relic is just an absurd amount of damage on activation. Plus, activating ultimate art raises your max HP by 30%. So you get super, super tanky for 30 seconds during your ultimate. It's really, really powerful. And the icing on the cake for this is just the +3 int. This is best in slot for Recluse. You're probably never going to replace this. Next up is the Vestige of Night. Collecting affinity residue activates Terra Magica. What this means is every time you use your ability to suck up any magic, it actually puts Terra Magica on the ground. And Terra Magica boosts your magic damage by 15%. Plus, magic attack power up makes your magic damage even stronger. So any magic spells you get are going to be extra powerful with this build. And lastly, we use the Blessed Iron Coin, which might seem like a really weird choice because it's a Duchess relic, but we use it for the continuous HP recovery and the +3 vigor because honestly, we just need more health on her. She's a very, very, very squishy character, and vigor is extremely valuable. This has 3 plus a little bit of HP regen. It's really, really nice on Recluse. Takes her biggest weakness, which is health, pads it out a little bit. And last but not least, let's talk about the Executor. The first relic we use is Knight of the Fathom. You know what this is, just makes us a little tankier. It's really, really good on him. It's not needed, but it really helps his survivability. Next up, we use Knight of the Wise, which increases our maximum FP, which is fine at all, but we're mainly using this for the starting armament inflicts poison. What this does is add poison to our already bleed katana. So our katana is going to do poison and bleed. Plus, when we do poison, we get increased attack power. And to put this build all together, we use Knight of the Miasma. You guys know what this does already, but I'm going to go over it again. When you frostbite enemies, you go invisible. It changes the skill to Chilling Mist, which means we're able to buff our bleed and poison katana with frostbite. And when we fight a frostbite afflicted enemy, we'll get our attack boost as well. So this is double attack boost and triple ailments. Absolutely disgusting, especially on enemies that can get all 3 at once. It makes it so the starting katana is completely broken. What you want to do with this build is take the starting katana, go into the mines, get the purple smithing stone, get a blue one there too, go to a blacksmith, upgrade that shit to purple immediately, and then use it for the rest of the game because it is going to carry you so far. It's really, really dumb. I love this build. It's very cool. Now, if you like Sekiro and you want to deflect the world, I got the build for you. For this one, we're going to use the Executor's Goblet. Start off by using Knight of the Fathom, which you know what it does. Increase our maximum HP. This helps our survivability. +5 vigor. It's very good. Next, we're going to use Knight of the Baron, which is really good on the Cursed Blade playstyle because you're deflecting enemies over and over and over. It's building up the stagger gauge. Eventually, they're going to get staggered and you're going to crit them. And this makes that crit do just that much more damage. Plus, It gives you more ult gauge and gives you stamina recovery on top of that. And lastly, we use the Bloodborne Relic, the Grand Tranquil Scene, to get the HP back just in case we miss. This is really good in case you get hit during a deflect or during a guard counter. If you go for those during the deflects, you're able to get your health back and keep on going, keep on deflecting, all the things. It's really, really powerful. +2 vigor as well, makes you super, super tanky, and the poise helps land those guard counters as well. So that's about it, guys. Thanks again so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the relic guide. Really hope it helps you out, and hope you enjoy the builds. And if you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Elden Ring Nightreign content coming real soon, and I'll see you next time. Peace, guys.